Advanced Class 28, final do Reading Passage e Guide of Pronunciation on Demand. It is, we talked about the independence of the United States. There comes our always cold girl. Okay, it's getting young. But I told you to finish reading at home, and I would just like to discuss it with you guys. Okay, just have a conversation about it. Okay, the point here is simply this. We saw that things in the United States were kind of harsh in terms of getting their independence. You know, they were under a lot of suffering, okay, until they were able to finally conquer their independence, okay? And then we saw all the reasons they mentioned for, at that time, for willing to become independent of the Great Britain. I only have one question that I would like you to think and try to explain to me. How would you compare the independence there in the USA with the independence of Brazil? Only this. If you can understand and remember this, I'll be happy forever.
Happened with peace.
Where?
United States, there are
We don't compare.
war.
So
War?
here in Brazil, it was peaceful.
Peaceful. Yes.
Yeah.
Because we get the word peace. We are going to talk about this today, later on, or tomorrow, I don't know. Peace, then I add the suffix "ful," and we have with a lot of the noun in front. Okay, so peaceful with a lot of peace. Understand? And the opposite is usually formed using peace. I've never seen this, but it's possible, it exists. Peaceless is like the situation in the Middle East. It's peaceless. They are never in peace. There is always a battle. There is always a war. That means without the word, the noun in front. Okay? We are going to study the use of suffixes like this in this topic, in this module that you have just received, okay? Full and last, they always form the opposite. Like hope plus full, okay, means with a lot of hope, okay?
Okay.
And what would be the opposite of hopeful? Hope?
Hopeless.
Yes. Without any hope. For example, Joãozinho had an accident. In the accident, he broke his spine, he lost 2 legs, and destroyed part of the stomach. And then yes, he was completely drunk as a skunk. And then the mother asks the doctor, "Doctor, is there any hope?" "I'm sorry, but it's totally hopeless." That means no chances of survival. Hopeless. Okay, he depends on a miracle to survive. Okay, and you see, I could continue going on and on. If I have like the adjective hopeless, okay, that means without hope, hopeless. If I want to transform this into an adverb, I just need to add "ly," and then I will transform this adjective into an adverb. Hopelessly devoted to you. There was a famous song at the movie, old movie, Grease, with Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta. It was called Hopelessly Devoted to You. Okay?
Okay.
That means without any hope. But the question is, in Brazil, you said it was peaceful, and in the United States?
There was a war between the colonies and Great Britain.
A war? There were many battles.
American Revolution.
Oh,
Just for you to have an idea, if you
Brazil
paid yes, Regina.
was a monarchy, and the USA was a republic.
Okay, that's another difference. And after the independence, did we become a republic or we continue to be a monarchy?
We continue to be a monarchy.
We continue to be a monarchy in the United States. No. Yes. Okay, they elected their first president. Okay.
Yes.
Which was one of the guys that signed the American independence, Thomas Jefferson. Understand? George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, one of those guys that signed it became the first president of the United States. Okay. So in Brazil, it was very peaceful. In the United States, no, it was very bloody, a lot of battles. And just for you to have an idea,
for many years.
Yes.
14.
The independence was declared in 1776, on July 4th, 1776. But the Revolutionary War was only over in 1783.
Yes.
So even after they declared their independence, the war continued. Understand? The Great Britain stopped sending soldiers and they started sending mercenaries, paid mercenaries, to continue the fight. Because they didn't want to grant the United States.
English liked wars.
Yes.
because they was in the war for many years, the civil wars.
In the United States? Or in
yes. In the United States.
Yeah, but you said the British or the Americans like the war?
The American.
Okay. Oh, they have been practically in all the wars so far.
Yes.
First World War, Second World War, Korea, Vietnam, okay? I think it's the lobby of the industries in the United States, understand? They have a great lobby in Congress. That's why it's interesting for them to continue in wars, in battles, so they can sell ammunition, weapons, and military things to the government, okay? Probably it's the biggest lobby in the United States is from the manufacturers of ammunition and weapons, understand? Guns and revolvers and rifles
a
and
câmera
machine
tava
guns.
ligada. Sai daí!
Ixi. Well, I think I saw nudes there. Okay, it's better here than in the presidential conference. Do you remember when Bolsonaro was having a video conference and there was a guy taking a shower? Okay? Be careful.
Okay.
It is true. Okay?
Yes.
Anyway, that goes for Isabel. Anyway, why do you think in Brazil our independence was so peaceful? Why do you think Portugal simply said, okay, if you want to be independent, be independent? And they didn't react. Why didn't they do anything?
You're asking to me?
I'm asking to anyone.
Oh, sorry.
I'm asking to your dog. Hi, Claudia.
I think it's because the power continues in the family, the same family.
That's one of the reasons.
Here we have only the negotiation. You pay for the independence. You have only the negotiation. We
It
don't
was
have
only
the...
business.
Yes, exactly.
I think because the England interested in that process, and they learned about the first process, the independence of the United States, and England was the most powerful country in the world in that period, and they are interested in to be a commerce with Brazil, another country. I think like.
And they were interested in becoming like a commercial partner.
Yeah, in Brazil. Because of the England made the negotiations and established a price. We need to pay for that independence.
Okay. But there was another very interesting reason, okay? As somebody already said, the control of Brazil remained in the same family, okay? Because Pedro's father returned to Portugal to get back his monarchy in Portugal, and he left his son to control Brazil. That was Pedro the First, okay? And what happened? I think Pedro the First, he fell in love with Brazil, with the cachaça, with the with the girls from Salvador, because at that time the court lived in the area of Salvador, you know, with all the baianas. And what happened? He was too happy to return, understand? So when the father realized that he was being too easy on the Brazilians, the father told him, come back. And he said, no, I don't want to go back. I want to stay here. Okay? I want to go back to Bahia. Okay? And he decided to stay in Brazil, and he proclaimed the independence of Brazil just to stay here. But as Carol said, the monarchy continued in the same family. Okay, so he continued doing business with Portugal. It took, I don't know how many more years for us to become a republic. Okay, but it was
1820, 26, 25. And
no, 1889, I think.
Page 89.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, the republic was declared in 1889. Okay.
Yes.
But till then, we continued to be a monarchy. Came Pedro II and then Princess Isabel. Okay?
Yes.
So it was running in the family. Okay? So it was interesting. So there were lots of interest in Brazil. And there is another detail. The Brazilian people, they are too kind to get into wars. Understand? Yes. If you look around in all the other countries in Latin America, in all countries, without any exception at all, every time the government imposes something, people go out on the street and you have violent protests. Because it seems like war is in their blood. They fought for their independence, not in Brazil. Everything was always easy here, understand? So here we have to accept in silence so many things from the government, understand? We see every day, I read the newspapers every day from all over the world. We see so many wrong things going on. And what is the Brazilian people doing? Just enjoying beer, a nice beer, going out, going to the beach, eating bolo de rolo, okay? Right? Celebrating things. We don't see people protesting against anything, all right? But take as an example, Chile, Bolivia, okay? Even Argentina. You do have violent protests because in all these countries, they fought against Spain to conquer their freedom, to conquer their independence, not in Brazil, right? So I think you have a lot of interesting aspects okay, to consider. Okie dokie, that's it. What I want to talk about now is because one of the students here asked me, teacher, every class you are correcting us when we read. Every class you need to tell us to do this, not to do that, to pronounce like this, not to pronounce like that. Is it possible to repeat that guide that you gave a long time ago? Yes. So I will try to go very fast because we have already seen these. And for the ones that have never seen, maybe this is your chance, your life chance to, let's say, tune in your pronunciation in English. So, Isa, can you read this introduction for us, please?
Side of pronunciation. It's important. When you have a sequence like
Sequence.
sequence, V.
And then you are going to understand why sequence, okay?
Okay. Like V, C, D. Vowel, consonant, vowel. The first vowel should usually be pronounced as it is in the alphabet. If the sequence is is VCC, vowel, consonant, consonant, or VC, vowel plus final consonant, the first vowel should be almost never be pronounced as it in the alphabet.
This is as easy as pie. And you don't imagine the effect that it can have in your pronunciation if you remember this very stupid rule. Just for you to have an idea, children learn this in the USA when they are 4 or 5 years old, when they are in the kindergarten. Yes, I'm serious. And here we have students that are engineers, lawyers, business administrators, architects, and they start learning English. They have been studying English for 10 years or more, and they never, ever heard about this. How can you learn a language if you don't know the most basic principle of this language? So to illustrate, I wrote here an example. I'm going to read it to show you. For example, if you observe the first line, you have words that end in, the sequence is me, vowel, the pronunciation is vowel, consonant, and finished. So it's vowel, final consonant. Then I have vowel, consonant, consonant. Then I inverted here. Yes, I inverted. Yes, for some reason this one is inverted. I'm sorry. It's in the wrong place. Yes, it should be all the same line. Let's put the other one here. Okay, invert there, please, if you have printed. Then I have a vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel, final consonant, vowel, final consonant. So in this upper line is always V, CC, or VC. In the second line, I have vowel, consonant, vowel, vowel, consonant, vowel, vowel, consonant, vowel, vowel, consonant, vowel, vowel, consonant, vowel. So what makes it different? Completely different. Here I say mad. Here I say made. So in this case, when I have the sequence V, C, V, the vowel, the first vowel is pronounced like in the alphabet. You see, that's why here you don't say sequence, you say C, A, B, C, D, E. Because if you observe, you have a vowel, consonant, vowel. That's why you say sequence. Okay? Mad, made. Echo, eco-friendly. Yes. Mikey, Mickey. No, I inverted. No. Mickey, yeah, you see, yeah, I inverted. Mickey, like Mickey Mouse, and Mike. Not and note. Cut and cute. Okay, so probably one day you learn it English in the old system, memorize, repeat, repeat, repeat. So you had to repeat the word 10,000 times until you memorize. So now I think it's much easier to understand that here you say right, because I have a vowel, a consonant vowel. The past tense, I say wrote, O, vowel, consonant, vowel. But the past participle, I say written, because I have vowel, consonant, consonant. Then it's written. And sometimes when it's these, people say written. No, it's writing, because I have vowel, the consonant, vowel. Understand? So only if I have a double consonant after a vowel, I'm not going to pronounce it like in the alphabet. Okay? Understand this?
Yes.
So I always say, if it's too hard to remember everything, remember Mike and Mickey. And every time you are in doubt, think Mike, vowel, consonant, vowel. Mickey, vowel, consonant, consonant. So Mickey, I cannot pronounce Mikey. Okay, it's Mickey, like Mickey Mouse. All right? You can say, all right, teacher, very good, I understand. But what if I have vowel, vowel? Then I break totally this sequence. That's why we have right here the combined sounds. Claudia, can you read the first one for us, please?
Combined sounds. I or
A and I.
A or I. Pronounce A as in they, stay, may, pay, paid.
That's it. When you see A and I or A and Y, it's A. Forget about it, okay? Way, pay, they, stay, may, okay? What about the second case, Isa?
A U or A W. Pronounce O.
No. Ó.
O.
Ó aqui você, ó. Ó.
O. Pronounce O as in saw, count, talk,
Có.
Call.
Okay,
talk,
ó. Taught.
I don't know. Raw.
Raw.
Okay.
Okay, ó. The sound is exactly the same, ó. Saw, caught, taught, raw. Okay? Understand raw?
Yes.
Or no?
No, I don't know.
Can you? Usually Japanese food, is it served
Raw.
cooked or raw?
Raw.
Okay.
Oh.
Like we eat raw fish. Okay, it's not cooked. Okay, many people don't like it because the fish is served raw. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, that's raw. Raquel, probably the most important, the biggest problem for all Brazilians without exception, and the biggest and most hilarious sentences that I've ever heard in my life are concerning the next point. So please be very careful when you read this.
EA,
4 sounds.
okay, EA or EE, IA,
I-E,
IE or AI.
E-I.
EI. I got confused. Pronounce E as in, miri, meeting, PC, keep. Yeah, it's hard, teacher.
Yes.
Yes.
This sound, let me pay attention to something. This E sound doesn't exist in many languages. It is not a natural sound, especially for us Brazilians. We need to smile, or E. Yes, it's very funny. There is a sexy mouth. I don't know the face. Yes, but there is a very sexy mouth. You only see the lips. Somewhere lost in the Google pages. where she pronounces and she gives the most beautiful smile I've seen in my life. But she's with red lipstick, understand? So it's very nice. But this is not a natural sound. Really, you need to smile. And here we have the biggest confusions. Every class I listen to students confusing this. For example, these words that I chose in particularly here, like meat, peace, they are exactly the same. They are called homonyms. They have exactly this homonyms, exactly the same pronunciation, but they are different words. Okay? And how many times, Raquel or Carol, in other classes, have you heard, for example, I have corrected Gloria 100 times. She said, I went to the
beach.
beach. She always says that. And I say, Gloria, it's beach. And she says, yes, teacher, bitch. I say, oh, no. Okay, you see, bitch is as the dictionary says, bitch is a female dog. Okay? Yes, this is the dictionary definition, all right? Not to use any bad word. Bitch is a female dog. So actually what Gloria tried to say is that she went to the
Beach.
beach. Like
Beach.
the towel that I am wearing here, I bought it in Miami Beach, not bitch. Okay,
beach, right?
Beach.
of course, I saw many bitches in Miami, but I bought it at Miami Beach. Okay, yeah, many female dogs walking on the street. Okay. No, and I'm making a joke, but you can create some very bizarre constructions. For example, this afternoon, I needed to print some documents, okay? In order to travel by airplane here in Europe, you need to print a 4-page document explaining everything, where you live, how you're going to travel, okay? Brazil has a lot to learn. They ask you if it's by plane, where are you going to sit, what's your seat number, and then they control everything. If somebody, let's say, shows certain symptoms of the virus, they will contact all the people that were within a certain area around that person to see if the virus was spread. Understand? So I need to complete this 4-page document only to travel. It's a 4-page document. But this, what is this? What's the name of this in English? Paper. Yes, but this is a sheet of paper. It's a sheet of paper. So imagine you just ask a friend if he has a sheet of paper. Like, can you give me a sheet of paper? I beg your pardon? You see, you make the things impossible to be understood. And really, sometimes in very simple sentences, for example, normally, without looking at the screen, normally, how would you pronounce this word, for example, Fabio? Forget about what we have just talked. How would you pronounce this normally?
Eat.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, and this?
Eat.
Is it the same?
No.
No.
The first one is eat.
Eat.
And the second is it. So if I want to say, for example, coma isto. Eat it. Yeah. Or you remember Michael Jackson, just beat it. Just beat it. Okay? Beat it's different of a bit. Would you like some cachaça? Yes, but just a little bit. Yes, just a bit, not beat. There are, you guys don't have any idea, probably hundreds of words, hundreds, that if you don't emphasize the E, you pronounce another word. 100 or more. Okay, for example, sheep, the animal with sheep. Okay? And I can go on and on. I could stay here giving one entire class only to show you. But the point is, what you need to remember, the four combining sounds, EA, EE, IE, or EI, has a long sound that is not a natural sound for any Brazilian. Okay? So there are many verbs like peel, like to remove the peel of an orange or a banana before eating. If you don't pronounce correctly, they understand peel. Okay?
Peel.
Yes. To peel is to, like when you're going to eat a banana. Can you wash it and eat it?
No.
Oh, you need to peel it. And then some people throw the peel of a banana on the streets, and then you step, and it's very slippery. Understand? That's the peel of a banana, not the pill. Okay, pill is a pill, a medicine. Okay, so it's very important that you remember this. Here probably are 50% of the mistakes, only with this sound. Now, Regina, can you read the next? E-R.
E-R or R-E-R. Pronounce as in sir, prefer, were, urgent, bird.
Yes. You see,
For that,
E-R, I-R, or U-R. The three sounds is always okay? This is a sound, just like sometimes when you eat like a feijoada and you're feeling very heavy, you go to the toilet, you sit down and you it's a profound sound that comes from here to here. Okay? It's not a normal sound. And observe, for example, here I say bird, right? I'm going to write in front another word. How would you pronounce that?
Beard.
Bird.
Beard.
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 Yeah. Oh. See? Oh.
B. Beard.
Okay. For example,
Beard.
today I shaved myself, okay? But sometimes if I stay like a week without shaving, I start growing a beard. Okay, like that's when you have a mustache, a goatee, and hair all over the face. That's called a beard, okay? Now, what about the next one? Who is it now? Carol. EW. How would you read that?
EW, pronounce U or U, as in new or new, feel, flay.
Flu.
Flu.
Yes, you pronounce U or U, but not in all the words. For example, if you listen to somebody saying, wow, she's bought a new car, it's perfect. Okay, I can say new, really new car or new car. Both are exactly perfect. I've never heard anybody saying foo. It's few, okay? But we say flew, like past tense of fly, flew, okay? Past tense of know, knew, okay? I knew it, okay? But sometimes, depending on the area that you are in the United States, and I think it's a matter of accent, they say New York or New York, okay? I've heard both inside of the United States, okay? Now, the next one is quite interesting. Maria Clara, can you read the next one for us? The IGH.
IGH. Pronounce I as in night, sight, psyched, flight, high, night.
Oh, the second one?
Sight.
No.
No?
There is no T.
Side.
Oh. Sight?
Sigh. It's
Sigh.
only I.
Only
Sigh.
sight.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, that's what Isa was doing there, you know? Yeah.
Okay.
It's a sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Side.
Yes. All right. The second one, the third one, I mean, is sight.
Okay.
Flight. Then I have high, and the last one is night. I don't pronounce the K. The K in front is never pronounced. You don't say I can know. The only word that I can think of where the K is pronounced is kinor. Okay, but that's not English. That is not English. In English, I say knife. They are. You see, is that the same sequence of knife? I say night. Okay, night. Do you understand this word?
Yes, but also have night. The night. Day, night.
The night is young. Yes.
And
What
you
is?
have night.
Yes. But I am right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's not possible to confuse Isa because of the sentence.
Mm.
Knight is a title given by the King of England to very honorable warriors. Okay, so there was a classical movie concerning King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. Have you ever heard about this movie?
Yes.
The classical movie. Every time King Arthur was going to concede this title to a very brave warrior, he would put his sword on the head of the warrior and say, "Now you are my knight." So it was very elegant to have this title, understand? Today, of course, if you're not a soldier, you cannot be a knight. You are just a sir, like Sir Elton John. He received this title, understand? So there are very few people. Then we have other titles like Duke, okay? Like Lord. You have in London the House of Lords and the House of Commons, okay? They don't say Congress, they say House of Lords and House of Commons, okay? But these are titles. And knight is a title given to a very brave warrior. But here, I would like to spend some time. You see, Americans are very lazy, okay? They are always trying to find ways to shorten things, to make things shorter, faster, especially to text, because they use a lot of cell phones to send texts. And then what's happening? Instead of saying night, today you find many people writing night, like this.
Really? Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
If you walk on Broadway in New York, there are many theaters that advertise tonight.
Mhm.
Oh, yes.
Because you see, by placing I, vowel, consonant, vowel, the sound is the same of I. So I don't know. Americans and British people, they're very conservative. They still write pharmacy with PH. Okay? When I was born in Brazil, pharmacy was written with PH. But we
Yes.
changed it. Yes, we changed this maybe what, 40 years ago. But in English, no way. They
No.
still preserve pharmacists with PH, pharmacy with the PH, but they pronounce F. But they don't change it because they want to preserve the language. So I really don't know if one day they will change night, this night, to this night here. But it's becoming more and more frequent. And kids are having a lot of problems in dictation when they start school because the teacher is giving them a dictation like we have in Brazil. And then the kids write like this, night. And the teacher says, no, this is N-I-G-H. They say, but why? It's the same of night. Oh, but you don't write it. You don't spell it like this. You spell it like that. They get confused because they walk on the street. Oh, I have seen at airports in the United States the next flight. Okay? Now, you want to be surprised? I think everyone now is going to be surprised.
Yes.
How many times a day you see this site?
A lot.
Me?
That is the origin, site. What is site? A view. So when you go on the internet,
Place.
you are surfing the net. You are having different views. You're having different sites. Okay? Yes. I think I have already mentioned once, but anyway, it's worth. In the United States, one of the biggest chains of drugstores, like in Brazil, is Drogazil. Even in the northeastern part of Brazil, have Drogazil. Okay?
Yes.
They are all over Brazil. In the United States, the name of this drugstore is very funny. It's Rite Aid. I went into this place for 100 times. I never even thought about it. Rite Aid, Rite Aid. I even asked it, excuse me, sir, is there a Rite Aid near here? Because this is a huge drugstore where you can find a lot of things, understand? And one day, I don't know why, when I stopped right in front, I opened the door, I looked at the name, it was like, ping! How can you be so stupid? I just figured. Yes, oh, Rite Aid. The aid means help. So that's where you get the correct help, the right aid. Understand? But they don't spell it with the I-G-H. They spell I-T-E. Okay? So between us, probably this will never be official. But be prepared because more and more times you will see the I-G-H disappearing and the I consonant vowel replacing it. Understand? And then when you look, you might think, I don't know this word. Just read it. If it sounds like I, then you know it was an IGH, okay? Like I've seen a lot. Flight, I've seen a ride, I've seen tonight, okay? Okay, good. What's the next one? Fabio, can you read the next one, please? O-I or O-Y?
O-I or O-Y. Pronounce O, oi, oi.
Oi,
Oi.
oi,
I
oi.
as in boy,
Oi,
toy,
nós aqui, oi, nós aqui,
Oi.
oi, nós aqui.
soy, employee.
Employee. Ó, boy, toy, soy, employ. Now, I'm going to write a different one. How would you pronounce this? Remember?
Decoy.
Decoy.
Exactly. Decoy. Yes, you have to put together the two rules. Understand? Of vowel, consonant, vowel. Decoy. Now, I'm going to get this one. Employ and I'm going to add this.
Employee.
Employee. If you don't emphasize the end of it, Fabio, you can confuse with
Employee.
employer. Okay, like Carol works for Goodyear, right, Carol?
Yes, teacher.
So Carol is an employee of Goodyear, and Goodyear is the employer of Carol. Something like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Carol?
Yeah, something like that.
Yes. Not officially like that, but it's something
Yes.
like that. Now, it's very interesting. The word, you see, the vowel you in English, the sound is you. Like we say, for example, huge, huge. And when we don't have the vowel consonant vowel, we say, for example, hug. Give me a hug. Okay, it's my birthday. I deserve a hug. Kisses and hugs. Okay? But anyway, the sound of the U is either U, like cute, cut, huge, hug. But when you listen, and this you can memorize, when you listen any word with the sound of U, like in Portuguese, it's not even necessary to say, how do you spell that? The only way to say U in English is to have double O. Okay, so sum, num, mum, okay? Or, for example, mood, right? And it's interesting because when you have the U, okay, and the problem is always Portuguese, it's not English. Yeah, we have sun, sun, sum. We have, for example, none, okay? None, which is a, let's say, a Catholic sister, okay? She's a nun. Yes. We say, for example, mud, okay? Like every time it rains a lot, the area around my house gets very muddy because it's not paved, it's unpaved, okay? So we get a lot of mud underneath the car. But when I listen, ooh, I know it's O-O. Just in case of, for example, boot, boot. And if it is really you, I say, but. Okay, guys?
Okay.
Erica, last but not least, you see, yesterday it appeared a verb. I don't know if you guys remember. It was endowed. It was in the article.
Yes.
The past, endowed. Everybody said endowed, but what is the correct sound? Is it endowed? Look
Endowed.
at the yes, exactly. Oh, the OU or the OW, I pronounce usually ow. Endowed, okay? So I say now, I say allow, I say wow. Okay, sometimes we say no, we say snow, we say show, okay? But usually we say ow. So it was not so strange. Endowed, okay?
Okay.
Now, this is really essential. This is something that you have to study. And I can assure you, if you remember this very stupid rule, you will solve at least 80% of your pronunciation problem in English. 80%. The other 20%, it's another case. Okay? Any question about this?
No.
So please, if you have some 5 minutes, you don't need more than that. Try to read this. Try to remember this. and tomorrow I can conclude this part. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
teacher.
Thank you, teacher.
I hope
Thank
you have
you,
a
teacher.
wonderful evening, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
You
Okay? Bye.
too.
You
See you
too.
guys
Thank you.
tomorrow.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye bye. See ya.